Hi, Awakeners. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Had a few technical difficulties getting started with my Wi-Fi. So welcome. Thanks for joining. It's been a few weeks. Happy holidays, everybody. It's been a few weeks since we got together. So I am excited to see you guys again this week, and happy 2018. I am beyond excited about this year because for many reasons, but let's first start with getting everybody grounded really quick. I just put some balance on. So put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, get yourself grounded, unplug from everybody else, plug into your own column of light, and write down your questions as we go and then save them till the end. I'm going to answer your questions. So what is 2018 bringing for you? First of all, understand that in numerology, 2018 is the master number 11. So the master number 11 is fantastic for ascension. This is the year of ascension, essentially. It's the year of huge shifts for everyone, and myself included. I've been making some huge shifts in my life as I've been practicing doing meditation and surrendering a lot. Some really, really cool things have come up, and you can watch from our past videos about how to do surrendering, moving into gratitude and surrender. So the master number 11. Let's talk about that for just a moment. And I see that we have my master numerologist online, so she can add to anything you want to, Elaine, to the year that's coming up. And then I also have some cards, so we'll draw a card for everybody at the end. Remind me. The master number 2011, about ascension, you'll notice starting to see it more in your life. I've been seeing it on the clock, on my phone, on my microwave, weird, crazy places a lot. I see it probably 3 or 4 times a day. So I love talking about the number 11 and what it means in the mastery, and it's all about your own mastery, your own path, that you're not alone, that you have a spiritual team that's guiding you along the way, and that you're here to do amazing things as you get out of your own way. So let's talk today on how to manifest, how to create. And I like to take technical information and simplify it. So for today, I know there's a lot of people that are doing their vision boards and recreating, what do I want to create for 2018? And that's fantastic. I highly recommend everybody does that, but be aware of your goal setting and also resolutions, because sometimes that has a really negative connotation of losing weight and obtaining goals that in the past you haven't been able to obtain. And so it puts a icky feeling in your mind, in your heart, that of struggle, because I've struggled in the past, I can't do it this year. Why would I be able to do it this year if I didn't do it last year? Watch my video on why your goal setting isn't working if that's the case for you. So let's talk for a moment about how is it that you create an amazing life. So if we break down the technical information about manifesting and all that, it all boils down to a frequency. And that frequency is love that we want to create with. Now, we create with a lot of different frequencies, but love is the one where you're going to be able to get the end result that you want. So manifesting with the power of love is our ultimate goal. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, realize that who you are is love. That can't be changed. It's a matter of who you were prior to coming into a human incarnate, and it's who you are intrinsically. The human condition, however, puts us into a slower vibratory state that makes us feel other things than love. So just recognize that, let it be okay, because we came to the earth to experience opposition. So as you understand that it's all good, it's all God, it's all a good experience here on the planet, even the painful parts of it that seem so, so bad, they are good in that they give us an experience. It gives us an experience of realizing that you are here to create opposition. You are here for coming back to remembering who you are. So all the duality that you're experiencing is designed to create a feeling of separation so that you can understand that separation ultimately is not who you are. The opposite of love is separation. And it's interesting because all addictions fall under that feeling of separation. When we feel alone and bored, we feel separated, we go seeking for something outside of us, and ultimately it's what creates the pain. And then we fill that void with other things, and it can be filling the void with something as small as your phone, being addicted to your phone, being addicted to, I say that because they were complaining to iPhone that they need to put things in place to prevent kids from being addicted, which I had to laugh at because that's the human race that likes to blame problems on our external circumstances. So be aware of doing that. But coming back to love is who we are, and the feeling of separation is what drives our patterns or our behavior that we don't want to create. So ultimately, what we want to create is coming back to a feeling of love. And ultimately, it's the feeling that is creating or manifesting. Okay, so with that, let's look at how do you create an amazing 2018? The first step is to be really, really clear on what you want. And it's okay right now if you don't know what you want. Just be aware that everything that you've been experiencing in your life that you don't want is there to help you get clear on what you do want. So I have my Meditate on the Go journal. Thank you, Elaine. She's talking about the number 11 contracts. It becomes 2, which is negative mind. So the opposite, I'll bring that up right now. The opposite of the ascension or the transcendence number 11 is conflict, inner conflict, and a contradicting mind. So we want to stay in the expansive 11 rather than the contradictory number 2 that causes you to go within. Okay, Meditate on the Go journal. If you don't have one of these, look how beat up mine is. Because I take it everywhere. I love this tool that I created actually for myself and for my clients. This is how I create an amazing 2018. Message me to get one. I'm getting them printed right now, so I don't have any left, but they're $25, and they're ultimately your workbook on how to create an amazing 2018. You can see I put a ton of notes in it. But in your Meditate on the Go journal, turn to your don't want, do want list. It's like this, don't want, do wants. And by knowing exactly what you're experiencing in your life that you don't want, it helps you to get more clear on what you do want to create. So ultimately, what I recommend is you start with a blank piece of paper, okay? Start with a blank piece of paper in your journal or in a notebook and write down as much detail as you can about what you want. Now, the way that I do this for myself is with PEMS, PMS with an E. That's how you can remember this. What do you want physically in your life? What do you want your physical being to be like? To move freely, to have lots of energy, to be able to eat right, to be at my ideal weight. You know, write that down as if it's in the present tense. I'm experiencing my ideal weight at such and such number. I love that I can move freely. I'm drinking 8 glasses of water, 10 glasses of water a day. I'm eating healthy. I'm getting all the greens that I need. Write that in the present tense and separate your life into physical, Your physical health. What does your emotional health look like? Emotionally, I am feeling more love than I've ever felt in my life. Mentally, I'm strong. I'm reading 2 books a month or 1 book a month, or I'm listening to a book. I'm always working on my thoughts. I'm meditating. I'm feeling connected to spirit realm. So physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. If you had your ideal spiritual connection, what would that look like? I'm connected to my deceased loved ones. I feel their love for me. I feel love and support from them. I know what I want, when I want it. Get so clear on what you want physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So PMS with an E. That's how you can remember that. Categorize it physically. This is what I want. Emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And then let's go into, when you get that foundation, let's go into what do you want for your relationships. Okay, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your significant other, with your children, with your friends, with your coworkers. This, by the way, the journal breaks this all down for you so that you can write it all there. But if you don't have the journal and you want to start, I would recommend starting today if you haven't already, and break down those quadrants. So physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, those 4 quadrants, and then add what would my ideal relationships look like with myself, with my children, my significant other, and then what would my ideal career look like. So put that one in there. We'll do another video on vision boards. I have a really great format for doing your vision board, and I'll do that as a separate video, but how to divide that quadrant of your vision board, because seeing it and experiencing it is really powerful. Okay, so clarity equals power. Everybody write that one down. Clarity equals power. What do I want? Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And write it in the present tense. I am experiencing. Okay, everybody got that? Now what I recommend is take some time each day to feel this, to experience it, to think about it. And again, sometimes we take really, we make this more complicated than it has to be, because it all boils down to this. I gave you the how-to, but it boils down to ultimately this. Your goal or your end result is to feel love. That's it. Because as you learn to feel more love in your life, you raise your frequency. And if we break this down into frequency, and we take all the words off of it, and it's just frequency, then your goal or objection is that high frequency of love and joy, or your natural state of being. And as you practice being so mindful of where you're at on your emotional scale, and I recommend looking at it daily using the Meditate on the Go. By the way, the Meditate on the Go journal has a lot of, tells you how to create your ideal life in the beginning of it. Look at my vision board. Isn't that great? The Healing Center. Do you guys want to look at my pictures? I love it because I get to look at it often. Do you guys like this pool? So visualizations, pictures, creating it in your mind. The best thing that you can do is be able to visualize what you want to see. So that end result of what your career looks like. If you could have any career you wanted, what would you be doing? And here's a question to ask yourself. If time and money were not an issue in your life, if they were not a block, what would you be doing with both? If time and money were not an issue, what would you be doing with both? And as you get clear on writing that end result, what I recommend doing is write out a day in your ideal life. I start from sun up and I go to sundown, and I have plenty of time, plenty of love, plenty of connections where I'm seeing clients, I'm being able to connect with my loved ones and my friends. To me, that's an ideal day. So write down what an ideal day to you looks like. if time and money were not an issue. Now I have an ideal day in my traveling and my play, in my vacationing, and I have an ideal day in my everyday working life. So I wrote out 2 ideal days. And be aware when you're writing out your ideal day about what the blocks are that come up, like, oh, I don't have enough money to do that. And just, you can write it down on the blocks, under your blocks. Those are something that you get to work through, but being aware of what the blocks are that are stopping you from that end result is really powerful, because it allows you to sit with it and breathe it out. So clarity equals power. Know what you want. Go through what I just recommended, the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. See it, feel it. Let your mind obsess about it. In other words, not obsess with not having it, but obsess with the feeling of love, of as if you had that amazing life right now. And allow yourself to daydream as often as you can during the day, to go, okay, what does my ideal life feel like? Bring in that feeling of excitement, of love, of joy. Bring it in right now and feel it, and let your vibration just go right up. The more you can be in that high frequency about what you're thinking about and feeling about your desires, the easier they come to you. Your life starts to unfold, and the universal force starts working in your behavior, in your behalf. Now, let me tell you what stops it or slows it down. A negative mind, poor is me, victim mentality will put what I call your pig pen or your dust cloud around you. You remember Pigpen in Charlie Brown, and he always carried a dust. He always carried this dust everywhere he went. So Pigpen's dust is what we carry around us. And I can see that energetically around people that are in the victim mentality, that are poor me, life sucks, I can't do this. And be aware if that's you. Let it be okay. You came to have that experience, but breathe it out. And then be aware of when that goes through your mind. Woe is me. And the moment it goes through your mind, turn it around. Do a reframe statement that says, look what I'm grateful for. And I highly recommend 10 minutes of gratitude a day. That's not much, guys. Get in the practice of sitting quietly in 10 minutes of gratitude. That helps raise your frequency so you can move into a place of love easier. Choosing your thoughts in 10 minutes of saying, okay, for 10 minutes, I can think about gratitude. Now, guess what? In the beginning, you're going to suck. I sucked in the beginning. It's okay. What I recommend doing is make a list of all the things that you're grateful for. And in that 10 minutes, go through and just read that list over and over and over again. And then practice bringing the thoughts of gratitude into the feelings of gratitude. This is the secret to your manifesting. It's bringing the thinking into the feeling, a place of gratitude and love. And as you do that, the universe lines up opportunities, people, and surprises. I get so excited about this because universal surprises, when they're in the positive, of course, we have universal surprises that are in the negative. But look, I'm getting all emotional because I've had some really powerful experiences with this. So I'll share that with you in a second. But universal surprises are when you're living in a high frequency and a surprising good element comes into you. And I had one recently finishing, my children's book. Ta-da! So I had lots of help in doing the layout and design, and lots of help and people showing up to help me get this to completion. And tomorrow I head out of town to go to market to take my creation. Now this is just a prototype. The real one's going to be a hardcover, but this is something that I've been just moving with the universe and the suggestions of the universe and practicing getting into a high frequency. and doors just open up. And look how, I'm going to say damn cute. Look, he's going to be on the front of it. He's a finger puppet. So this is my prototype. I'll have these in about 4 months. It'll take that long to get them in. So really excited. This is my manifestation. And I got to tell you guys, this was a universe surprise. This was one of those things that I just was in the process of moving with the gratitude of my life and all the relationships and all the babies that my children are having. And look at this. Ta-da! Here he is in big form. Little form and big form. These are just prototypes, so they're getting perfected, but they go with the book. This one goes with the book. This one will come separate. But these are universal surprises for me. Now, yes, it takes work, but you follow the promptings that the universe gives you. And that's unique. And guess what it's done? It's put me on a path of going, okay, we are creating self-esteem for children and adults. I mean, that's awakening to your true self. It's what I'm passionate about, spreading the word, getting the message out there. And if I can do this, you guys can too. So let's recap. What's the end result you want to allow the universal surprises in your life? Love. Love and joy. Those frequencies allow your life to flow. Removing the blocks that get in the way of love, connection, and joy, that's your journey. That's your goal. How do I release all the blocks that stop me from loving, from feeling that high frequency? What can I do to get out of my own way? Think about it, people, for just a moment. It's your own way. It's your excuses that somebody made me feel this way, or my partner doesn't support me, or I can't do it. Those are just your head blocks. You can get those out of the way as you practice meditating. I know it's hard. Give yourself 3 minutes a day to just move into thinking about something for 3 minutes. Mindfulness practices. Be clear on what you want and be clear on what gets in the way of what you want. And as soon as you feel that block, acknowledge it and breathe it out. Just see it float away like a helium balloon. Okay, any questions as we wrap it up and help you? My goal is to assist you in creating an amazing 2018, a magical mastery 11 year for you of ascension and love and high frequency and universal surprises, and assist you in moving through grief and sadness and depression and anything that is not serving you. And allow yourself to come to the present moment where you have the power to choose. Choose what you think, choose what you feel, and that allows your vibration to increase. Okay, I'm choosing a card. Are there any questions coming up for anyone about your year, or any blocks, anything that I can assist you with to help you move into a life that you love? Oh, here we go. I love this card. Okay, it's backwards for you guys. This card is, it's time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. This one makes me all teary, full of giddy surprises and excitement for you guys. What this card is saying is that it's time for you to act upon the creativity. So I had the idea of Unique. I wrote the book. I got some blocks. I received some blocks and I surrendered them to the universe. And then new ideas came in to move through those blocks and new resources. And I acted upon them. I still had to do the doings to bring this into fruition. So this card is saying, get out of your way, get out of your head, move into joy, and creative ideas come to you to solve the problems that you're faced with now. Allow yourself to get out of the negativity, of the blaming other people, of being the victim, and move into a high frequency of love and gratitude and joy. And if there are people that are showing up to create resistance, realize they're great teachers for you. And that's another call on we'll do, or another video on relationships. But move through it and surrender that. Release those people in your life. Come back to being clear on what you want and allow the universe to come in and open the path for you so that you can achieve your goals physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, in your career, in your relationships, with yourself, with Source, with God, with your spiritual team, and with all of your connections out there. And come back to feeling love and joy and connection. That is the secret. And as you do that, all the doors open for you and you get to act with ideas of inspiration that come into you. Okay, any questions, any comments? It's been so fun being with you guys. I will be out for next week, but we'll get back together the following Monday. I look forward to it. In the meantime, send me your questions. I can answer them. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for your thank yous. I love you guys.